Bitcoin to 50K when? Altcoins pumping massively. What to do? But first, major alert for everybody. There has been a major alert done by the one, the only Ledger. They have an exploit happening. I'm gonna have Alex O Crypto coming up here. What's going on, man? I'm excited to have you on the show.
What's going on, man? Thank you so much for having me on, man. It's always a pleasure coming on. Thank you for inviting me back.
Done, dude, for sure. I would love what you were doing and the TA you were doing on Monday. Had to bring it back. We were trying to have more guests on today, but didn't work out that way. But I just wanted to quickly let the people know if they haven't already seen it, which I'm sure they have on Twitter and everywhere else, the Ledger post that was done about their vulnerability. So if you're not following us on Twitter, follow us, Crypto Wars OG. They have put out this tweet saying, hey, they've identified malicious version of Ledger that is pretty much draining people's wallets. Do not connect to your Ledger. Do not use it right now. Don't even try logging into it right now and seeing anything. Don't do anything until Ledger makes another post saying, hey, it's good to go. You can update and they can get a clean version out there running. So just wanted to quickly remind everyone, be very, very careful if you're holding a Ledger. They've fallen from good graces, man. They were the best of the best. And
Yeah,
after the what do they call it? The backdoor key that they
the
announced
backdoor key that they're
earlier
gonna help
this
people
year,
renew
and
that.
then
Yeah.
and now this, dude. Do you use a ledger?
D- so when that news came out, I had a ledger from way back, like an old school one, and then
Yep.
as that first news that you're just talking about came out about the back door, I was I had actually ordered one like 2 weeks before that, so I got another one in the mail,
Yeah.
and then and then immediately I just shared with my community actually today. I'm like, I bought another treasure today.
Yeah, dude. I still have a ledger. I have a Ledger Nano S from that I bought back in 2018. I still hold it.
Yeah.
I've been meaning to get another hardware wallet, which I do. I have an Arculus wallet. But I don't really I like Arculus. But for me personally, I don't like having stuff on my phone. So like the
Mm,
fact that it's on my phone and I'm carrying my phone with me all the time is I understand that if the phone gets lost, the wallet's still safe or whatever. But I just like to keep my hardware wallet completely separated somewhere in an isolated location that I can keep it safe. So I don't like that aspect. I wish they would have a different they would have another like option where you can like store it in a different device outside of your phone and give
yeah.
you options on there. Hopefully they can implement that one day. But yeah, I'm using Oculus in the meantime
I've
until I
never
find
heard of
another
that
hardware.
one. So you'll have to show me
Oh
what it's
yeah,
all
yeah. Let me
about
show
one
you
day.
real
Yeah,
quick.
yeah.
Give me a
'Cause
second.
that's pretty cool. I just, I default, I go like Ledger, Trezor, and then I see all these fancy ones that have been, shilled and stuff by other people, and I'm like, I don't know. Kind of stay with the mainstream. But I believe Trezor is from the Czech Republic, so pretty cool. Pretty cool. Arculus, you saying?
Yeah, Oculus. I dropped a bunch of stuff. My bad. Uh,
You're
but
good, man. You're
yeah, it's
good.
basically this is basically it. It's just a little box, right? You can't even see it on here,
Okay.
but it basically comes in a box and it's a card. It's a card. So
Oh,
like
that's all
literally,
right. Yeah,
it's
that's
just a card. You tap it onto your phone. The phone scans it, and then it authorizes the app to open up your wallet or whatever. So
yeah,
it's
because
just
I think
basically that.
ease of use is very important as we get more retail
Oh, dude,
involved. Like
very
I tell my
easy.
mom how to, I hand my mom a ledger with some Bitcoin on it, and she's like, well, this is a USB stick, like
What do I do with this?
right? It's like, do I put this into the cassette player or what?
Yeah, yeah, it's definitely a lot easier than Ledger. And
Yeah.
people are out there like, "Oh, is this sponsored by Oculus?" No, I wish we were sponsored by Oculus, but it's not. They just tap the card. You download the app. You tap the card, and it opens up the wallet. It gives you the seed phrase. You obviously have to write it down, keep it safe, and then boom, your wallet is set up and pretty much ready to go. It's like in three little taps, it's done. Versus the Ledger, you have to have a pin, you have to have the cable, you have to download the software, you have to do all these different things. They're a
Yeah.
little bit more complex. You got to add all the individual accounts. There's a lot of more complexities there for sure. But we're not here to talk about Ledger. We're not here to talk about wallets. Just something you guys need to know that's happening in the space right now. Be safe out there, guys. Don't get drained. Not everyone just can recuperate all that money if they do get drained. So be careful out there.
Absolutely.
Bitcoin. We talked about it. We talked about a few altcoins on Monday that have been popping off. Injective is one that I'm going to be asking you about later here in the show. We talked
Okay.
about it on Monday. It was like 19, maybe $20. Now it's over $30. I don't know what's going on over there that is making this thing pump so hard. But let's
It's
start off with Bitcoin. Let's start off with Bitcoin.
wow.
50K. It's been going sideways at 43 down to 40, been consolidating at this range. Do you foresee a 50K Bitcoin before the end of this year, sometime for the Santa rally?
Okay, well it's hard to say, like it's so weird. We had the massive bullish news with Jerome Powell yesterday, right? Saying basically they're done cutting. And just looking at Bitcoin today and what we got actually scam wicked on like such little news today. So for me, you can see very simply here we've worked we dropped here and everybody's like, okay, we're going back down to like 38,000, and we consolidated nicely. There's the perfect setup here with the bullish divergence that we were watching as a community. And then we had a couple of levels above us, areas of interest we had marked out on our chart, and I believe we were sharing these earlier in the week with you, how we were looking for price to come up here, get a bearish divergence, and knock us back down. And we did get that knocked down today. You can see this big scam wick grabbing a lot of people out of their lungs if they got in late, right? So as a community, we were looking at the bull div here with the higher highs and the lower lows on the momentum waves and working our way up here. And we have some key resistance above us. Okay, so like for me, understanding what's above us, we have a daily and a naked point of control, which are holding us down. However, the narrative seems to be back bullish. I mean, if we go over to the S&P or the Nasdaq, we were going over that this morning in the morning show, and it's like they're making all-time highs, man. It's wild to even see. Like when I go over to Bitcoin and look where we are within this market, you can see that we are treading up to this 50,000 area like you've asked about, and we have that golden pocket. And for me, everybody's looking here, right? When everybody's looking at one spot, you kind of try to go to the contrarian point of view and try to say, okay, where could we
Yeah.
go instead, right? And as a trader, we try to set ourselves up in the best positions possible to ride a longer trade, right? So for right now, am I looking to buy more Bitcoin? No. However, the ETF's right here, right? The ETF is knocking on the door. Is it a buy the rumor, sell the news? Is it a buy the rumor, buy the news? That'd be interesting. What do you think about that? But right now we wait to see if it can make these higher highs. We know we have key resistance above us, but with the adoption of Bitcoin and institutional money coming in, I don't see why Bitcoin doesn't keep going up, right? It's said, hey, we're just going to keep putting in higher lows, and this is just another higher low, in my opinion. So can we see a little bit of a push up here? We have a couple targets above us here that we are looking for price to come to at this 47.5 area. We also have I have here on my other chart. Let's go over to the 4-hour and let's jump over and look here. So if you just pull, I do like fib extensions. They do work quite well. So if you just pull a swing high to the swing low here and you look at a fib extension levels, we have those marked out. So our next level typically is to get above this high, clearly, but we need to push through 46 and 47.5. Those will be my two next areas of confluence that we're looking for this extension level. Shout out to Dave Digital in the chat. We pulled a fib extension level the other day, and it banged on it perfectly. So I mean, these do work. It's just the way the fibs work. So it's really nice to see that, but we need to get back up above here. We're failing to get above this key level of interest that we're looking at around 43,200, and we've been rejected multiple times. So we'll wait and see. Friday is typically a very bullish day for Bitcoin. We've been printing quite nice green candles on Friday, so we'll watch to see what transpires after this, wick down, grab of liquidations. Anybody who got long late, it grabbed them out, but it looks like it wants to continue its way upwards here.
Dude, that's great. I mean, you mentioned about the Southern news by the rumor news about the ETF. Somebody in the chat said, hey, it's already priced in, not move. I honestly can't imagine the ETF being priced in, because if the ETF is what we're expecting it to be, unless there's some fugazi added on that we don't know about, right?
Yeah.
It's talking about buying spot ETF, billions of dollars, and it's ETFs. They work in 401ks, all types of pensions, all types of these
Hmm.
long term and retirement accounts. Big retired money is going to be going into Bitcoin through these ETFs once it has
Yeah.
full regulation and approval. Has been really holding back a lot. The it came out just yesterday. Was it the FSAB? I think it is, or the FASB, one of the whatever that
Acronym is,
committee
yeah.
thing is. Basically, you have fair value on Bitcoin now, so corporations that are putting Bitcoin on their balance sheets can report the earnings of the Bitcoin, the profit, as earnings in their earnings report, which would be great, right? MicroStrategy has like 1.2 billion in profit right now with its Bitcoin, so that would incentivize companies to hold that in their treasuries and their balance sheet.
Yeah.
All these things coming together, I can't imagine that being priced into Bitcoin. I mean, Bitcoin got to 69,000 without the ETFs, without the institutional money, without all the regulatory clarity that is kind of getting right now from the SEC, working with BlackRock and all that stuff. I cannot imagine that being priced in. Could it be
Absolutely.
a fake out, right? Could we get a denial in January when everybody's hyped up? Maybe. Anything's possible,
Yeah.
but
I think there's a reason why
I think it's
retail is
unlikely.
broke as well. Like, you know,
Mhm.
they've, you know, high interest rates, you know, people defaulting on their mortgages. There's like a lot of retail. Retail doesn't have money right now. In general, retail doesn't have money.
Yeah.
The institutions have the money. So who's pushing up the price right now? If you just look at it objectively, right? Like I know a lot of my family members and stuff like that. They're just getting by, right?
Yeah.
They're groceries are high, everything's high for retail right now. So what's pushing up this price, right?
Yeah, it's the interest, right? It's the interest of these big money players that are coming into crypto and that are moving it. They've always been here, just they've never had the full clarity from the government and the regulations to like, hey, you can publicly buy this now. You don't have to be hiding in the shadows anymore, right? You can sell it to your clients. That's what's not priced in. It's that hasn't happened just yet. Um, we have a super chat from Kenan. Kenan says, "How much?" Says, "Hey, much love. What do you think is the next resistance line for Link?" And
I'm
my
on
name
it.
is pronounced Kenan. Super chat 4.99. Kenan, you might not know this. I think you're new here. I've never seen your name, but everyone that sends in a super chat gets to be put on the wheel. And you must be asking yourself, what is this wheel? Well, this wheel, right? All these names, all these super chats get put on the wheel. Every dollar gets your name in one time. If you are a member of the channel, it duplicates your entries. And basically, we spin this wheel and we select somebody to come play our live game show called Flip or Hodl, which we're playing for $3,600 this next round coming up, which has been postponed for next week, guys. If I haven't said that, it has been postponed for next week. But it's $3,600. Somebody come and played from our community last week for 20. What was it? 2,900. That was $2,900 last week, and walked away with some money. Not a lot, but some money indeed. So shout out to Kenan putting you on the list for the super chats. Put you on the wheel of Flip and Hodl. Good seeing you, man. Hope you stick around and maybe you win that Flip or Hodl wheel.
That's awesome. That's awesome. You guys are like Santa Claus.
We're trying, dude. We're trying.
So I
So,
pulled up the link chart if you want
oh
to
yeah,
take a look for
go
that
ahead.
resistance.
Let's take a look at that.
Flipping over to Link, and I do hold Link, so I am
Me too.
bullish on Link, and we've had a beautiful floor put in, like a beautiful floor. We got obviously hammered. We've pushed up massive bullish moves since the bottoms. Like we're up 200%, right? But that doesn't mean Link can't go higher, right? So if you're looking for a resistance and levels, or if you're looking for a pullback, I got you here. We do these quite often, and your next target, you can see you've bounced off perfectly off of the 1733. And we like to just pull volume from the left hand side, see where there's key levels of resistance, key highs that were made from prior data being shown here by the candles, where we look for where's the gaps, where is price going to move fast, and where can we move up to. So you can see we have a value area low down here. So we're currently literally bouncing off of that as we speak. So there is some resistance above us that's going to take a little bit of a push to get above. But if we're looking at Link objectively, we can, of course, cool down but we're putting in a nice base yet again. So you can see that this 1350 area is holding up quite nice, and it has acted as a good support. It just came back and retested it, and we pulled the volume for this in my community the other day actually, and we were like, okay, if it gets above the point of control, we should be cooking with some fire. So it was able to push it up above this point of control, and now it's pushing higher. So it's come up to the value area high. We look for it to continue this trend. We haven't broken structure in that sense where we are still putting in higher lows. So we look for it to come back up and possibly attack this 1730 area that we're watching right now. And then once you get above that, if you don't get the pullback, because you can change market structure here, don't get me wrong, you could put in that high here and then put in a higher low there, and then you could be coming down that way. However, with the sentiment in the market right now, you're most likely coming back up this way. So you can look for the pullback possibly to the level right here, which is at the point of control around 1475. And then as for resistance above you, you want to flip this 1730 to support. So you want to get above here, flip this to support, and then you want to continue your way upwards into this big resistance, which is around $19.50, $20. So this is going to be a psychological number as well, because $20, everybody's like $20 link, that just does something. So
Yeah, big round number.
Between 19.5 and 22, you're going to have a typical rejection from 20. But once you start pushing through 20, like you will 17, you can get up to 22 really fast just by looking at the volume profile. So those are kind of your ceilings, but you want to get above 1730 and look to bounce around here between $14, $15 until you get up and try to test that 1730 area. So that's kind of how we're looking at Link right now. So make sure to, if you want to grab lower prices, you can always look at these levels that we have here below you. I think we lost you a little bit, Crusader, so I'm just giving them a little bit more. So if you do fall and lose this level at 13.5, you can fall to 12.50, or the lowest I think you'll ever get after this massive push up is around $11.10.
All right, I'm back. Dude, I don't know what's going on. It happened it happened on Monday with you. Tuesday and Wednesday, nothing happened. I was streaming perfectly fine.
It's all my fault, man.
Boom, dude, I get knocked out again. I don't know what's going on with my internet.
Man.
Wow. Dude, I wanted to ask you. So Chainlink, right, is one that a lot of people have been talking about running to $100. $100 Chainlink, $100 Chainlink.
Yeah, man.
Do you think that's possible? Do you think $100K, $100 Chainlink is possible this next month?
I'm crazy bullish on Chainlink. I mean, if they, like Larry Fink says, blockchain technology, right? Everything's going to get tokenized. Well, what's going to allow that to happen? It's Chainlink, right? It's Chainlinks that's going to allow that interoperability between every single, blockchain there is. Things are going to be on Avalanche. Things are going to be on Ethereum. Things are going to be on Solana, right? And how are they all going to communicate, right?
Is there a certain target that you're looking at that you say, well, if we cross this target, 100K is definitely on the table, or hey, we get rejected here, this possibly 100,000. I mean, 100K. I keep saying that $100 is definitely not on the table anymore.
We got to 53, right? So we got to 53. We want to see it. We want to see it get up to this $27. That's our point of control, and get within this range and trade within there. However, like if you've seen how fast this moved, it moved up a lot faster than most things, and all it takes is that. The Fed or one of these big institutions saying we're using Chainlink for this, we're using Chainlink for that, and bada bing, bada boom, you're flying off the handles, right? And who's to say it can't go anywhere higher, right? So we want to see it get up past that 20 psychological, because then with that, it's trading up in here, right? Within that nice range that we had from the previous bull market. But once we pop off this 30 cap, the sky's the limit, right? There's not, then we're in price discovery mode. We're coming up to 53, and then we're challenging the all-time highs, and the sky's the limit.
Dude, great. I love it. We got B Team Crypto. Shout out. $5 super chat says, Otter Gang, shout out to Crypto Wars for getting the Otter Alpha on the show today. Dude, putting you on the wheel for $5. B Team Crypto.
Love B Team. He's always supporting the channel, man. That guy's a true OG, man. He's always showing up for me, so I appreciate that too.
Awesome, dude. You said you mentioned something about price discovery. I said it earlier today in the show. Injective. What's going on there? That thing is flying off the handle, dude. I was like, oh man, I'll take a look at this. 2 days go by. I looked at it yesterday and it's $30. I'm like, that's a huge gain from the last time we talked about, which is just a few days ago. What's
Yeah,
happening there?
man.
What's going on with
It's
Injective, dude?
crazy, man. It's crazy. And I saw you take the Avalanche trade, man. That
Yeah,
was
yeah.
fire, man. That was fire. Shout out to you, Crusader, taking the Avalanche trade, but Injective. Holy smokes. Okay. So let's go back in history. I
What's
mean,
going on
let's
here?
go to Monday, right? Where were we here, right? So this is wild, right? This is absolutely wild. And it's the narrative, right? Like we stress narrative so much, right?
Yeah.
It's like this is why Bonk's going off today, right? Adoption by Coinbase. Bonk's on Coinbase now, and it's flying off the handles, right? So narrative, man, it's the gaming token narrative, right? So you can see the massive push up here, and we had the target of $30.50, and look how well it's respected, right? It's so well respected. So what do we do again? We pull the simple, we go from just swing high to swing low here, and look at that. You get your 618 consolidation. So there we go again. So price discovery, we're going to do it all over again. We're going to pull the swing high to the swing low, and we're going to wait till we get a low here. And depending on where we go, we look for price discovery coming up, right? And we keep throwing those extensions. And for me, with things like this, it's very important. I can't even draw a trend line on this. But it's important to draw your trend line as you're working your way up. So your new trend line would be your two key points connecting, right? So you would go something like that, where you look for this to flag out, return, and then continue its way upwards, right? And until that's broken, you keep just flipping to support, right? So you can simply see is that you get above a certain area, you retest the trend line, you push back, you look for the retest of the trend line, you look for the continuation upwards, right? And it's just, you try to keep it simple with these things, and you try to get a good entry, don't over leverage, and try to ride the train, right? Take a ride on the train, pay yourself early, and protect your downside. But with things like this, it's very much, it's the narrative that's driving it. It's awesome to see, and
And what's the
it's good
real
for the
narrative that
space.
Injective is pushing? Because all I know is it's a layer one,
Layer
like,
one
w-
Cosmos
yeah,
game.
Cosmo
It's your
ecosystem.
main. I believe it's your main gaming play. That's safe. That's your safe
Okay.
gaming play. So, if unless you want to go like Illuvium, or you want to go into something that's more specific in gaming, I believe this is more of your safe play overall.
Okay.
I may be wrong about that, but
Yeah, that's the
I'll have
narrative,
to.
right? That's the
That's the
narrative.
narrative, right? So it's wild, man. It's wild. It's awesome to see though, because it's like, okay, people are filling up their bags all the way all the way down here. I remember when it popped
Dude.
off, right? And I mean, if you're filling up at $20 right now, you're giggling, right? You're giggling.
Oh,
I
for sure.
mean,
Like, I mean, I'm over here just waiting for a pullback. Like, hey, can we just have
we're-
a crypto pull? Can like Bitcoin just dump to like 32K or something so I can buy some alts,
yeah,
dude? Like, this
man.
thing is getting out of control.
Yeah, man. And will they give it to us? That's the question, right? So I think it's the pullbacks we look for, and your next pullback level. It's hard to say, but it's $27 now,
Yeah,
twenty-seven
with that
fifty,
trend, if it keeps
right?
following it.
So it's a massive move, but it's good for the space as well. It's
Yeah,
good
dude,
for
it's
the
exciting.
space.
It's exciting to see all these new cryptos that weren't around last cycle that are popping off that are people are getting excited about. Those are the
Mhm.
things that people need to keep an eye out. Just want to quickly hit a few super chats here. Jonathan, bit of a troll, but I appreciate it, man. I appreciate the $10. I'm still gonna put you on the wheel, no problem.
That's
And
my
we
main
got
man, Jonathan Schaefer.
and Crypto Poil, another $10 super chat. Let's go. Givers Gain. BNB is another one that I was actually gonna ask you about. And now that he threw a super
Let's
chat
go
in,
BNB.
perfect. BNB has been, a lot of FUD has been around BNB with CZ getting kicked off and being, prosecuted by the SEC, all this stuff. So most people are probably not thinking about buying BNB, but I think BNB is going to be a good performer because it has been in the last couple of cycles. I believe it's going to perform well again. A lot of these centralized tokens, BNB, Chronos, and there's a few others out there that actually perform pretty well. A lot of people forget about them. What do you expect to see from BNB? You think it's going to pop off anytime soon?
Oh, BNB. So BNB is actually still at that level that we talk about, where it's in that bearish consolidation level. So it hasn't had the move, right? It hasn't had that move that,
Which
you
is
know,
technically good news.
which is great news. It's kind of like the XRP, from typical highs, it's down, blah blah blah, and it hasn't had the move such as Solana's up 700%
Yeah,
since the bottom. Like,
yeah,
so that's cool, but you're only up 20% here on BNB, right? Like, you got a lot of room. So that's the good news. And how can you slam CZ when he, first of all, he's Canadian, and second of all, he's taken, I see him as taking a hit for the crypto industry. And what do you see when you just objectively look at this? I see a big cup and handle, man. I see a big cup and handle right here, looking like it'll, you know, test that. You can see the big, beautiful loop, and this typically means, a little bit of consolidation before a fire off, right? So we've been given pullback levels because of the CZ news, and these pullback levels have worked out so well. I mean, like, if you just grabbing these wicks, right, and we're looking for pullbacks. However, this box, this consolidation level here below, we're looking for that pop off, and you can see the massive cup and handle here that actually had an attempt of breaking out, and then it got rejected right back, and then we fell into the FUD, right into the news.
yeah.
So right now we look for the consolidation, and the more it knocks on this door, like, as much as Gareth Soloway has drilled it in everyone's head, the more times you kick the door, the easier it is to break it down, right? So the more it's gonna knock, the easier it'll get up, and then you have resistances above you. But overall, man, you look at this thing, it's top tier, because for a good reason, right? And it's performed extremely well in previous cycles. So it doesn't mean it can't, you got a lot of room to the upside. So it doesn't mean it can't perform, right? It had
Yep.
a decent downwards trend. You can actually I can see a nice downwards trend from up here. You draw something like that and look for the breakout as well. But I'd be looking for the breakout and then the flip to support as usual before I get into any kind of trade. So if we're looking at BNB for a trade, we're looking for the breakout, the retest, and then the continuation upwards, right? And then 270 will be our target to get through initially. So that's kind of my thoughts on BNB, man.
Dude, that's great, man. I mean, like I said, BNB is one that a lot of people don't really pay too much attention to. Last cycle, it was like $32. Nobody was looking at it, and then it popped off to $600, and everybody was like, "What just happened with BNB?" Right?
Yeah.
So, and I'm pretty sure that new exchanges will come on board. BNB and the few others that are out there, Chronos, will probably have some type of movement again that most people won't see coming, and then they'll be totally cut off guard because of FUD on these different exchanges. So
Yeah.
I'm not surprised if they perform very well again. Guys, in the chat, you guys want to drop one out there, or drop an altcoin that you want to be looked at, go ahead, drop it in the chat. We'll see if we can get to it. Dude, another one that I wanted to mention to you is Kaspa, right? Kaspa has performed drastically, like mind-blowing, face melting, like 69,000% since its inception last year, up like 6,000% or something like that this year alone. Where do you see this thing going? Where do you see Kaspa going? I heard some people say 24 cents. I've seen $1.
I've
I've
seen a
seen
dollar.
$4, right? Up to $4. I literally just made a video about it yesterday. Maybe it's possible with $4 would be like an $84 billion market cap, which is something Cardano and Dogecoin have hit in the previous past. So why not? But where do you see Kaspa heading here in the near future? Because it's been fighting that 15 cent, right? 13-cent level. Is it going to keep going?
Yeah.
Is it going to drop down? What are you seeing for Kaspa?
I was so glad you asked, because I was actually looking at Casper today, because I mean, I want to get in on this, right? I mean, I
Dude, I
remember
bought a small bag of $600 around like 14 cents. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna throw $600 at it, see what happens, because I don't even know if it's gonna drop down. I would love for it to drop to that 7 cent level you have marked right there, 9 cent. That'd be great, but I don't know if we're gonna go back down there. You
right?
tell me.
I remember doing TA on under 5. You can see all the TA I was doing here before, man. It's like, what am I? So I think the thing with Casper, the narrative with Casper is that it does all three well, right? I think that's the thing. It's fast, cheap, and it's safe, right? It's
Yep.
fast, cheap, and safe. So that's what I believe. A lot of people are pushing this. I know, like many influencers are pushing this. So there's a narrative behind it, like we always say.
Yep.
So we've got that bullishness. Now the key levels for me are these red levels. So if we're looking for pullbacks, which I am right now, this psychological 10 cents is going to be like, I think the best you'll ever get, like simply
Yep.
the best, better than all the rest kind of deal. Um, but like W formation, man, this thing looks like it's ready to rip, and it's cooled down since after having this absolute tear, right? After the tear, it's just
Massive.
200%, right? So it's nice to see. It's human, kind of deal. So you can see the consolidation here, but it's still holding this other red line here at 11. I believe it's 11.2 cents. So that's good to see with healthy market structure, but it's bad to see for us who want to buy it down at 10 cents, right? So would
For
we
sure.
like to, would we like to see the rollover and the buy opportunity? Absolutely. Even for me, it's like this isn't Casper isn't on, crypto.com. It's not on Binance. It's not on Coinbase. So it's actually very interesting because we not many people have exposure to it, and it's pumping, right? So you have to go on an exchange like MEXT or something like that in order to buy this thing. So for me, that tells me that general retail isn't able to buy it.
Yep.
Institutions aren't even going near this damn thing because they don't even know what
They
a
don't
hot
even know where
wallet
to
is, or you
find
know
it.
what I
Yeah.
mean. MetaMask, what is this Fox thing, right? So for me, beautiful bull flag, right? It's not as steep as I would like to see, so this could mean, like, if we could draw the flag like this, and that's a nice flag, so we could look for that before continuing upwards. But with the bullish narrative on so much of these things, it's going to tend to follow, right? And it's gonna be widely adopted. So I think we might be seeing this opportunity, and I do believe if it can solve the trifecta of being safe, fast, and cheap all in one, there's no limit, right? There's no limit to how high it can go because everybody's looking for something like that. It's got a catchy name. It's and your next target, you just pull the fib extension and you look at it this way, right? And then you say these are the levels we need to get above, and we know where our resistance is. However, if we do dip down here, we look to accumulate some more here, right? And hopefully, I believe in it. I do hold a small bag. I won't, not a lot, but a small bag of this. So I just wanted to be exposed, right? To be
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
exposed.
You just want to get
But
some exposure
but
to
these
it.
are your main levels that you're looking to DCA in, and hopefully, I'm hoping for a dump. I'm not gonna lie. I got dry powder waiting to
Yep.
deploy, right? So I
Same,
mean,
dude. Same. I bought a small bag just to say, hey, just because I have it, and in case we don't have a pullback, I got in. Because sometimes people just wait, right? They have there's these massive rallies in the market, like we've seen in the last month and a half, massive rally, and then people are like, "Whoa, it pumped too hard. I'm gonna wait for a pullback."
mhm,
And the pullback doesn't really happen. We continue pumping, right? And then when the pullback does happen, you'll be lucky to even get in at this point now, which is the same. You retrace all the way back to this point. It was like, well, if you would have already gotten in, you could at least run up the second pump, right? And then maybe taking some profits and recycled and repeated. So I've learned that over the cycle, over the times in the bear market and bull markets. So
mm,
I definitely don't mind buying some now, having it dump, and then buying some more at way lower prices, just so that I already know I
absolutely,
have exposure. I can sleep peacefully at night, knowing I'm not going to completely miss out if it keeps going.
absolutely. I always
What?
say, have like a deployment
Mhm.
plan. So
Yeah.
20, and then 60, right?
Mhm.
Depending if it goes up or not, but always try to get that exposure initially, and then try to bring that average down, right?
Yeah, exactly, right, exactly. Just
Yeah,
bring the average down. If it comes down, if it's something you believe in, you've done your research in, just dollar cost averaging. It's always worked out for me in the long term. So I don't have any problem dollar cost averaging down. Obviously, I don't want to be buying any tops, but knowing that the structure of the market, we are nowhere near a complete top of the market. Even if we're at a local top and we have a pullback and we have a consolidation at lower levels for the next couple of months, I'm totally fine using that time to dollar cost average because I've already got an exposure to the project. There's a lot of psychological things to it. Like some people don't buy, right? Because they want to pull back. Then the market pulls back, and then it consolidates for 3 4 months at those low levels. They're like, oh man, like it's this coin's not gonna do so well. I'm glad I never bought it. They don't buy it. They got the second opportunity, still didn't buy it because they got psychologically mind fucked, thinking that they
Yeah,
weren't
man.
gonna ever pump again, and then they completely miss it a second time. So I like to hold myself responsible. If I put money in and it's the market pulls back, it forces me to dollar cost average to bring my average down if I already know. Because if I already bought it, it's because I understand what it's doing and I believe that it's going to keep going. So, I'm already in it. I already got skin in the
Yeah,
game. I can't just ignore it.
absolutely.
And a lot of people, don't do that. Talk about things going crazy. Meme coins, dude. Bonk. I seen people in the chat talking about Bonk. I don't need you to do TA on or anything, but I'm just saying,
I'm
how
in a long
crazy
right
is
now, like
that?
literally
Are you?
just before we went live, bro. I longed this thing, man.
No way, dude.
Yeah, man. I'm right in it. I'm
Oh
in it,
my.
man. On the
What you get
live,
in? You get in at what? At that point, at that entry point, that line down there, or between
right
the red
there,
and
man.
the green,
We're up like we're killing it, man. We're
dude.
doing all right, man.
Dude,
Let's go, right?
let
Let's
that thing
go.
rip.
Let's go, right? So,
How crazy
man,
is
we
that,
killing
bro?
it, man. We killing it.
Dude,
So,
that's
I
awesome.
mean, we were waiting. We got the pullback. I mean, it's just so technical here. Like, it's just la 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 la. The
Who would have thought
news
TA on meme coins could
comes
work?
out. Yeah, exactly. Right. It works all obviously it works. So, oh man, on the live, love it, love it. I literally jumped into that just before. So we came up key resistance, right? Pushes up. Okay, massive news, right? Massive news being listed on Coinbase. So we expected that. And then what happens? You get the news, you get the dump, retrace perfectly back to your your scene of the crime where you're looking for the retest. You get that perfect retest. You get the bullish flag up to the halfway point. You get the consolidation and then the boom, right? So that's
Damn.
what I was looking for, is that consolidation coming back and then just firing off. Like typically when you get this perfect of a move that just comes perfectly back to support, you look for it to make a high, then you look for the retest, right? And if you pull the fib, you look for the 0.5 or the 0.5 or the 382. The 382 is even more bullish, so we jumped in at the 382 because we knew there's a narrative behind it. And I mean, the rest is history, right?
Savage.
So I
Savage
mean,
play,
I'm having a good day and a great stream with you, man.
bro.
But this is how but
That's
it
what we need, bro. You
shows
need
what
to be
TA
pulling out
works,
trade. I need
right?
you to pull trades like that for season 3, bro. Season 3 of Trading Wars, baby.
That's it, man. Love it. Love it. Good times, man. Oh
Freaking
man.
bonk, dude. Freaking
Stop
bonk.
losses in profit. If I get bonked on the head, we've made our bag, right? We paid ourselves early, all that good stuff. So
Dude, I just want to quickly remind people, if you guys are not following Alex Crypto, go down to the link down below. Go follow him on YouTube. Go follow him on Twitter. Smash those likes if you haven't already. If you're not subbed here, hit that sub button as well. Man, that the TA on meme coins is definitely something that blows my mind. Like, I never thought I'd see the day that TA on meme coins actually worked, because it's just so meme coins have been so wild in the last couple of years that now some of them are actually becoming like I don't want to say stable, but like they're becoming like a fundamental piece in certain
yeah.
ecosystems, like
Look at
Bonk,
Sheep, man. People are
Shiba,
building
right?
like crazy. Like they're still building.
Shiba. I don't know what Pepe is doing. There's like 3 Pepes out there. I think there's like a Pepe 2.0, Pepe 3.0, who knows? But like some of these meme coins have gone so high up, even hitting $1 billion market cap is like $1 billion market cap on a meme coin.
And like
How
Doge,
wild,
man, that one Elon. Remember when he switched it the Twitter symbol to the dot, bro?
bro. You imagine if you would
Gone.
have done that in the bull market, dude,
Yeah.
how wild Dogecoin would have gone. I mean, it pumped, but like, in the middle of a bull market, you switch the logo of a major social media to a meme coin logo. That
Right.
thing is blasting
It's
off and
gone,
never
man.
coming
It's
back.
gone. Yeah.
Holy
Absolutely,
smokes, dude.
man. So wild. Yeah, and it brings adoption, right? That's why we
Yeah,
love them, because it brings adoption. Like I think I told you, my boss had Doge on his
everybody,
wallet,
bro.
right?
Everybody that
Like
gets in gets Doge.
the only thing he's like, okay, I bought the Elon coin, right?
The
And
Elon coin.
yeah.
Dude, it's wild, man. Is there any altcoin that you're looking at that I haven't mentioned that you think would be interesting to cover real quick?
So with the main altcoins, we want like Ethereum, Solana. They've all really had their moves that I've been
Yeah,
looking at across the board. They've all had their moves, hence why I traded a meme coin. Um, However, there's going to be opportunity, I believe, tomorrow. So just looking through here, we can scan through and we can see that we have this beautiful uptrend on a lot of these, let's say strong coins that you would trade. I don't suggest trading, very degen coins. So I always go, to ADA, AVAX, Solana, Link. These are kind of established with where TA is more respected. So we took the ETH trade yesterday. We've had the breaking out here, the retest of the downwards trend. We look for continuation. For a lot of these, we want to see a little bit of a pullback. So like simply looking at where the fair value is for these assets, we would like to see the retest of a lot of these lower supports. So that being said, we want to see, yeah, we did get this wick coming back down, but we would like to see something like that for more healthy market structure. And then even with like Solana, same kind of trade, it's got the wick, but we would like to see it come back in and then make healthier market structure as it crawls its way upwards. And there's very key resistance above these that we're looking to get above. And I believe ETH is the lagger right now. ETH I think should be up around $2,600. So
yeah,
looking for an ETH long along this trend line, very simple trend line. Look for the ETH long along there, where we can pull this along and look for that longer term trade. However, with things such as ADA, like ADA's to me right now not tradable. We took the ADA trade all the way down here on this breakout, and we caught this breakout as a community, but right now we look same thing. There's that uptrend. We look for the retest back. It has flipped the 64 65 cents to support now, so it is making its move back up, right? So if this holds and we get a little bit sideways over the weekend, we can look for it to come back to this trend line. We can look for a possible bullish divergence on a lower term time frame to fire off, but overall we would like to see a little bit of sideways consolidation or a little bit downwards consolidation on Solana, ETH, even AVAX, same thing. So sideways consolidation would be
yeah.
healthy on all of these. You can see they're all very similar, right? They're all very similar. So push up, a little bit of sideways consolidation and a continuation, and that's kind of where we're at for basically all of these. Where we're watching, we're waiting. We're the hardest thing about trading, man, is being patient, right? So
Oh, for sure, dude.
waiting for those A
Patience
plus setups, right?
and your emotions are so difficult to control
Mm,
when it comes to trading. I mean, I've only been getting into TA for the last like 3 months or so, and that's been the hardest lesson is just being patient. Like you see something
yes.
on the chart, but then you something else starts to kind of happen, and then you start to change your idea all around. And it's like just if you
Mm,
just stick to your original analysis, just wait it out, let it happen, and then boom, the entry point reveals itself. You get in, but dude, it's so hard to be patient. Then you get
yes.
greedy. You're like, oh man, I want it. I want one of those 100% trades, right? And
Yeah.
it's like you're up 20, 30%, and that's not enough, right? 20, 30% is not enough on a trade. You need 100%. It's happened to me, and I've gotten
Yeah.
wrecked, right? I had a week one time where in 3 different trades, I was up well over 100%.
Mm,
I was up like $700 on one of Bitcoin long. I was up 500 something dollars on another Bitcoin long multiple times, and didn't take profits because I thought I was going to keep running, or I was going to keep going, and then
mm,
that's where the big rejection happened. It's just a massive candle down. You're like, oh,
yeah.
just
Yeah.
get wrecked. So
Yeah.
emotions and patience, bro.
Yeah.
Hard
And paying
lessons to learn.
yourself, right? Pay yourself, right? You're fighting against a lot of smart people. It's you're fighting yourself first of
Yep.
all, but then you're fighting against a lot. Everybody's out there to try and extract money from you. So it's a man, woman eat woman kind of game where you pay yourself and you can let the trade ride, but however you should reward yourself for doing a positive trade, because when you do get wrecked, you want to be able to turn that into a positive outcome,
Yes.
right? So
Oh, Trust
You're
me, I've learned
absolutely
that the
right
hard
about
way.
that. And I think with the emotional side, if emotions are getting to you, or the psychology in trading is getting to you, I always suggest just lowering your leverage and lowering your margin,
Mhm.
and do some I don't care trades. So put a couple $5 trades on, couple $10, whatever your threshold is, that where it's just like, whatever, this is a coffee, or whatever, this is, a 5-cent candy, who cares, right? But whatever trade is, do some of those, get in the flow, get that confidence up. I think confidence plays a key part, because you do got to press that buy button when it's time, right?
Oh, yeah.
So,
Oh,
right,
yeah,
oh, I
dude,
missed
that
that trade, oh, I
definitely
missed that
works.
trade, right? That one is like, that one hurts just as much,
Oh, yeah.
right?
I
So
lost a trade one time in the last couple of months, and I lost, like, $2,000 on that trade. Dude, I didn't wanna look at a chart for, like, a month. I was like, "F trading, bro. I'm outta here." Like, even if I kept doing the TA, right,
Mm,
just to keep practicing it, but, dude, I would get shaky just trying to hit that buy, but I was like, I can't. What if I lose
yeah,
another 2,000 bucks, right?" And I lost
yeah,
2,000 bucks because I made a mistake. I didn't put in a stop loss, and I had to walk away at the time from my computer to do something. And then when
yeah,
I came back, I realized, like, oh my, I didn't put the stop loss in, and the trade had just gone out of control at that point. So
yeah.
it was definitely
And it can be
difficult,
a
but
simple
a
news
learning.
event, right? So it's like, have a defined stop loss, have a defined exit plan, right?
Yep.
So those things, that big plan, having that plan going into a trade is so important as well.
Dude, 100%. Planning
Yeah.
is 100% important. Whether you're dollar cost averaging or trading, if you don't have a plan, you're planning to get wrecked because you're not going to take profits. You're not going to do the things that you need to do. When you have a plan, you just, hey, this is happening. I'm doing this. This is happening. I'm doing that.
Yes.
And you don't have to worry in the moment, because in the moment there's going to be emotions, right? There's going to things are pumping or things are dumping. You're like, oh, what should I do? Should I sell? Should I buy? Well,
Mm,
yeah, and then your things happen so quickly that if you already had your plan, you would already known in the first two,
yes.
3 seconds exactly what you need to do. Shout out to Investing Bros in the house.
What's going on, IB?
What's going on, man? We gotta have you on the channel someday. Well, one of you guys, whether it's wow,
Shroom
just
or Tim.
Shroom
Yeah,
or Tim.
man, they're
That's right,
great
Shroom or
guys,
Tim.
man. They've had me on once. I think they popped my collab cherry, man.
Oh
So
yeah,
they popped my collab cherry, man. I always respect them for
dude,
that,
they're
man.
super cool. I've hung out with
Great
Tim
guys, man.
one time for the Bitcoin conference, and I hung out with Shroom literally 2 months ago in October.
Oh,
We were
that's
at
amazing.
Gary Cardone's house or something. Yeah, we were at Gary Cardone's house and we
That's
are hanging out.
wild.
So it was cool experience hanging out with them. But dude,
That's awesome.
ICP is one that the people have been dropping in the chat.
Mm,
ICP. Some people are extremely bullish. Some people are extremely bearish on that thing. Right? It has a crazy past from coming to like almost $1,000 IPO ICO, and then massive drop ever since. Right? Nothing but down. Some people are buying it, saying, "Hey, man, the internet computer thing, it's literally the best technology." I've talked to a developer that worked with them. That's also a content creator. He's like, "Dude, no BS. It's literally some of the best technology out there in the crypto space at all." But like we know, technology doesn't really pump things here in crypto
mm,
land, right? It's literally narratives. It's some type of marketing. Something needs to happen for that, and the technology usually is the later aspect of why
yeah.
it keeps pumping. So, what do you see? What do you think about ICP? What are you looking at for it?
I love ICP because it gets eyeballs, man.
Does it
There's such a good community. Like, I
really?
didn't even realize this. Like, I've been making pullback videos on like certain coins. So like ADA did really well, Solana's done really well, and like ICP was way down my list. And I made an ICP video, and it boom, like all of a sudden. So maybe make
Dude,
an
look at that
ICP
thing. It
video,
looks like
man.
the US dollar, just nothing but down.
Right? That's the best joke of the week, man. Oh man, they got me. So ICP, man, we did some TA. We were looking for pullbacks, and everybody's like, okay, it's going back up to two. Everybody in the comments said ICP to 2K, man. Everybody 2K. It's like they're, I don't know. That's what
I
they
don't know
believe.
about
It's
that.
going to $2,000. I don't know. I don't. Like looking at this, like you're lucky if you get up to to $9, right? Right, and I may take some hate for that, but if you do get up to this level here, you can simply see that we do have a massive move to the upside, right? So if you get above 8, right, you're up to 15 because there's not much holding you back over here. You get up to 15, then you got to get up around here. Like there's some swift moves up. So from where we are now to where we could go, and knowing how much people believe in this thing, like we said, narrative, community, and then best technology. So best technology last. However, I mean, narrative and community, if it's there, it's there, right? So you can see it's got a beautiful rejection here off of the value area high of this lower basement range, right? So what do? We simply look at it here and we look for it to flip it to support, just like the other coins that we were looking at before. Man, this thing it's hard on the charts because it's
all to
dropped
bottom.
so hard, man. It's dropped so hard, right? So you look at this, you're in the bearish consolidation zone, falling. So you have that level there. You draw your simple square of resistance where you see price can get above here. Then we're looking to get to $8, right? So we look for the flip of that area, continuation along this trend line, same kind of deal, but it needs to get above 880 there. It needs to get up there, and then from there you can start taking a real look at this. But like that's going to be a massive move from $8 to about $15, right? So that's a big move up there, but it's not there yet. So you can't say like, hey, this is bullish AF until we kind of really put in some decent price structure. You've seen runs like this before over here. You've got a nice, this was a nice 130% move. You got another 130% move. Okay, so put your money where your mouth is. Continue to make higher lows and higher highs, and continue on your merry way. And it's good to see this kind of laddering effect where it's making healthy price structure, right? So we're moving up, we come back, we move up. Are we going to come back? So that laddering effect to me spells for good price structure. It means we're climbing out of this bear market still. So unlike Solana, unlike ADA, that are being adopted because of how strong they are in their community and their market cap and such things like that, you can see it's making higher lows. So that's good to see. However, it's got a long way to go in my books, just looking at it objectively. So we'll see if we can get above our next resistance, which is a value area high around $6.80, and then we look to try and attack that $8.80. And if you're looking for a pullback, draw the trend line, mark out your key resistance where it had pullbacks to before, and look for that to continue up. But right now, it looks like it's had an unhealthy push, and it could drop back down. So we look for that kind of pullback here, depending on where you get, and then a continuation upwards like that. So, dude, yeah, man, it's got a good narrative behind it. So
let's hope so. I hope so. I have a very small bag. I forget where I even got in. I got in a while ago, but I don't know. It's one of those things I just wanted to get a little piece of exposure. If it does something, it does. I'm not dollar cost averaging into it. I just don't know if it's gonna have enough enough marketing behind it to actually make it go somewhere and do something. Even if the technology is great, I'm not 100% sure on the developer community behind. There's just a lot of things I'm not sure about. I just haven't dedicated the time to do a lot of research with ICP. It's just been in the back burner for me. But I hope it performs well. Anyone who's out there, right? Good luck.
$2,000, man. I'm telling you, everybody, $2,000. That's all they're saying. It's going to $2,000. I'm like,
that's more believable than 589 for XRP. I can tell you that. I mean, 589 XRP ain't never gonna happen. I feel bad for the XRP holders out there.
Oh man,
that believe all that stuff. I mean, dude, once again you smashed the TA, man. Great TA on all these different tokens, guys. If you're not following him, go to the link down below. Go follow Alexo Crypto on YouTube and on Twitter. Great content. Where else can I find you? You have a Discord?
We have a Discord, yeah. Same Discord link is in all my descriptions. It's free to join, all that stuff. And Alex Louis Osti on Twitter, all that good stuff, man.
Dude, so awesome, man. I'm looking forward to having you on for Trading Wars Season 3. That is coming in January. I believe the start date for that is January 8th. January 8th, the second week of January, which is a Monday, is going to be the beginning of Season 3. We might have a little bit of a different structure than what we've seen in the previous 2 seasons, having teams. This might be a little bit more of a free for all aspect to that season. So I'm interested in on how you're going to perform. I think you're going to do very
I can't
well.
wait, but I
If
really want to be on a liquidation calendar, man.
dude, on the last day, right? Who knows? You can make it happen. We're definitely collecting. We're definitely collecting headshots for that. I can tell you that.
I'm down, man.
But yeah, man, we look forward to we're gonna keep doing the TA Thursdays and TA Mondays here on the show for the rest of this month until January, when then Trading Wars will kick back off again. Hopefully we can get some bigger panels in the next couple of episodes, see what your TA is versus other people. I like to get different viewpoints, right? Different people see different
Absolutely.
things. A lot of times people see the same thing, the same targets, but their
Different way.
styles are so very different, which kind of adds more confluence to like that price point actually being the next target or the level of support,
Yeah.
because the styles are different, but the concluding answer is still the same,
Yes.
which I like a lot.
Yeah, that's the best, is when everybody gets their own way, but it's the same thing. It's like, ah, my
Yep.
man,
Dude,
that's
that's
awesome.
exactly it, bro. I love that about TA. For 100%. It's not
Mhm.
so much a science, it's more of an art mixed with
Mhm.
science, right? So it can be very different, but still give you the same answers, which is what
Yeah,
I like. I don't like when all the TAs the same and everyone's getting different answers, or all the TAs the same and everybody has the same answers. Like, well, maybe there's something a little different here that nobody's actually looking at. So I
yeah,
like different styles. Dude, so I appreciate you coming on the show again, bro,
no
2 times
problem,
this
man.
week. Hope to
Appreciate
see
it.
you in the next couple of weeks as well. And keep pumping out those trades, dude. Keep pumping out those
Absolutely.
charts. You're doing a great job. This next bull cycle, no doubt you'll be over 10K easy on YouTube, dude.
We can
Easy.
hope. Thank you so much, Crusader. I appreciate you having me on, man. God bless you, man. Thank
No,
you.
dude. God bless you, man. I appreciate you and all the hard work that you do coming on here and doing all that TA. TA is not easy. I know a lot of people, just look at it like, oh man, that's so easy. Yeah, because it's easy when someone like
Horoscopes
you is
for men.
explaining
Yeah.
it, right? But if you just drop that in somebody's lap and tell hey, tell me what's happening here, or draw out all these lines and all these targets and just give you an empty chart, it would be impossible. So
Yeah.
people's kind of underestimate how much work it takes into putting in and preparing all these charts ahead of time. So for that, dude, I thank you so much for doing that. And I
Thank
thank you
you.
for bringing on here and on your channel. So, dude, like always, want to see you here once again. But guys, question everything, trust nothing. And until next time, hodl like it's hot. See you guys.